What's up guys, I'm Shan.
And I'm Kai, and we're back with another D&D recap video.
But before we start, as you all may know, we create content and live out our lives for the love and glory of God, and we want to make sure He stays front and center in everyone's minds, even in the midst of a fun game like D&D. Now that you know who we are, let's get started.
Rip, his pet Ripper right here.
So anyway, we got XP and treasure.
I want to go to this warg and remove one of its fangs.
Before you get to do that, Vannis gets to do that. Ashlyn, you have first dibs on the warg if you want to take anything from it.
I'm taking the tooth.
There's a treasure chest, and Clark has in it 600 copper, 110 silver, 2 potions of healing, and a jade statue of a frog with tiny golden eyes that is worth 40 gold pieces of meat. After the party goes to collect their treasure and their warg fangs, they go to collect their human. You're back.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
We've
dead.
done your task and we would like our friend back.
Do you have proof of this?
I have a tooth.
What tooth? Show me.
I'm gonna show him the tooth that I stole from Ripper.
He looks over
It's
at
still
Vannis.
warm too.
He immediately says, ew, girl, you guys are worse than me. Oh my gosh. Put it away. Gross. Are you guys gonna leave now?
With
With
our
our-
friend, yes.
Yeah.
Promise?
Yes.
Pinky promise?
Do you have pinkies?
I tell Texas to outstretch his hand.
He says, I heard this is how you normal folk do your promises. You use pinkies.
It's a sacred ritual. You better be careful with it.
That doesn't look like a normal folk. I only trust the normal folk.
He's
Don't
normal.
worry, he's perfectly normal.
I don't want his pinky. It might eat me. Vannis released Sildar. So, you see that Sildar is held over here in this cage. And once you're up here, he walks up, he pulls the lever, and the cage lifts.
Sildar, how are you?
Sildar responds, I'm struggling. They didn't treat me nicely here. How did you guys get me free?
We
killed
treated them
everything.
worse.
Yeah, that's the nicer way of putting it.
All right, enough mushy. Get out of my home.
What are you going to do now that your boss is dead?
Whatever we want. We don't have to listen to his orders. He's such a bossy boss. I don't understand why people like bosses. They're too bossy.
A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
That was the problem with Clark. He was a boss, and he's bossy. But Yimik, he's a leader, and he just leads. It's not the same. As long as he's, like, saying stuff that makes sense, and, like, it's fun, then, like, it's fun. I do it.
Why does this feel like arguing with someone in the comment section?
Gauntlet Shaker 47 in the comment sections be like, well, whatever the case, we're leaving. Enjoy your new boss. I hope
Say
he's
that
lots
as
of
a trigger.
fun.
Let's
And, gotta leave Yimik. There was a little pebble at Liam's shins where they got kicked previously.
Pops up in the top right. Liam will remember this.
Can I also throw a pebble at his shin?
No, we're not doing this. We're leaving. We're not staying.
When Vannis says that, Yimik leans over from the edge here and kind of hands her a little pebble.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm the rock woman.
We go back to the treasure room, and Liam identifies the strange lion stamps on the cargo boxes.
You remember this to be the symbol of Lion Shield Coster, and you remember hearing word that there is one in town. The party is going through the caves, taking the last of the stolen cargo out to their wagon.
Theoretically, is it possible to wield stick as a weapon?
I mean, technically, it's possible to wield anybody as a weapon.
Oh, Liam!
So, as you guys are walking out, you hear a rocket thrown down the pathway, you guys. And as you hear this, you hear, "Get good!" And the water is suddenly getting a lot louder. In fact, the whole passage is suddenly filled with a mighty roar as a huge surge of rushing water is pouring down.
Hattie fails her dex save, but passes her strength save.
You do not get out of the way, but you brace yourself. You don't expect yourself to move quickly enough as an old lady, but you do expect yourself to have, like, Super Saiyan strength. So you just, like, go into, like, full squat, like, ah.
I can do this all day. Yeah, I know.
Roland passes his dex save and jumps out of the way just in time.
Me, a dwarf in heavy armor, I look back at an old lady ready to brace a wave. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of the way!
Vannis, Sildar, and Stick all pass their dex saves, but Texas fails both his dex and strength saves.
So you actually sprint around this corner as well and get into a safe space. Sildar succeeds. He's feeling a little better after that heal. He also runs away stick pops hecka quickly because he doesn't like water. He's made of straw. And he's over Sildar and lands back here. Whereas Texas gets smacked against this wall next to him.
Just like Hattie, Liam fails his dex save, but passes his strength save.
You were bracing yourself against the wall, but not putting your head next to it. You did not hit anything. You braced yourself. You got covered by water. All three of you got covered by water, but you and Hattie were fine from it.
We make our way to Phandalin in the dark hours of the morning. We settle ourselves in the local inn. In the morning, we go downstairs to get some breakfast. Liam asks the barmaid if she's seen his friend he's been searching for.
I'm looking for a friend of mine, so to speak, and he kind of looks like me. Might be going by the name Daniel. Have you seen him?
I don't think I've seen him around.
Do you know of anyone I can speak to find out if they've seen anyone?
There is a man in town, though, that might be able to help. He's a former adventurer. He's actually the orchard keeper over at Edermath Orchard. His name's Doran Edermath.
Vanis tries to get ale with her breakfast.
I'll just have whatever this dude's having. Point over to Liam, except I want it.
She says, and how old are you?
Definitely the right age. Do I have to make a check for that?
You lying about your age?
Sildar walks up and looks at you very closely. He's just trying to see how young you look. Or he looks back to the barmaid and says, a cider for her, please.
Roland asks Liam a very important question.
I lean over to Liam. Hey.
Yeah.
So you do the magic, right? All the
I think we've been over this, but yes.
Yes. Okay. Splendid. Back at my guild, we once had a friend of the guild there. He was a wizard. He was a pleasant fellow. Very nice. He did this really neat trick, right? He would make bread taste like sweet bread, and water taste like the best ale you've ever tasted in your life. It was amazing. Everyone loved it. Can you do that?
What's Roland's obsession with sweet bread?
Right.
Okay, you know what? Just for what happened in the cave, I'll do it for you for free. Yeah, fine. I'll
What
just
happened in the cave?
Liam, just okay. Enough questions. Just.
What?
Do you want some sweet bread?
Yeah.
Do you all want sweet bread?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Liam is gonna snap his fingers and then he's just gonna put it down. He's like, "Have at it."
I immediately start tearing into the bread.
Okay.
I would die for you. This is amazing.
Choose your words carefully, dwarf. You almost did that the other day.
I know, and I'd do it again for this bread.
I'm just gonna enjoy the sweet bread as best as I possibly can. I'm gonna lean over to Hattie and whisper, he acts like a stressed out dad half the time.
He really does.
All of his children.
The party meets the innkeepers and gets information on some local bad guys.
Hello, my name's Toblin Stonehill. This is my wife, Shalana Stonehill. We're the innkeepers here. His wife says, is that all you're doing here, is delivering goods?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hoping that you might be here as enforcers from Neverwinter or something to stand up to the Red Brands.
Where are these red brands? Are they a bandit guild of some sort, or?
Kind of. They're local bullies at the very least. See, we don't have any law enforcement around here.
You mean to tell me you've been sitting here for a couple of years or so, and you don't have a single person here that is qualified to at least try to keep order?
Well, we have a town master. We're not really sure about him. We were in a rough time when we elected him.
Hattie asks Sildar if he knows where Gundren is, and we get some backstory on Sildar and Gundren's mission.
Does he know where Gundren went?
He did hear actually that the Black Spider had sent word that the dwarf was to be brought to him, but he doesn't know who that is. Sildar says, I believe that Clark, the bugbear, he actually sent the map and Gundren to their chief. He's the chief of the Cragmaws. He's at a place called Cragmaw Castle.
These punks have a castle?
It'd be funny if it was just like a ruined house and they just like put up a flag and now it's a castle.
Sildar also explains the history of Phandalin.
It wasn't always here. It actually was destroyed more than 500 years ago. Clans of dwarves and gnomes made an agreement known as the Phandelver's Pact, by which they would share a rich mine in a wondrous cavern known as the Wave Echo Cave. In addition to it being rich with mineral wealth, the mine contained great power. You see, human spellcasters had allied themselves with the dwarves and the gnomes to channel and bind that energy into a great forge called the Forge of Spells. And at this place, supposedly they were able to craft magic items. And at the time, everything was good in the area, and the nearby human town of Phandalin, it was actually prospering with all this. But disaster struck as the orcs swept through from the north and laid waste to everything in their path. The powerful force of orcs had actually been reinforced by evil mercenary wizards and had attacked Wave Echo Cave to seize its riches and its magical treasures. And the human wizards fought alongside their dwarf and gnome allies to defend the fortress spells, and the battle ensuing spelled much trouble. In fact, it destroyed much of the cavern, and few survived the cave-ins and tremors. No one has succeeded in locating the Lost Mine until possibly the Rockseeker brothers. There are actually 3 of them, but you know Gundren. He is one of the 3. Unfortunately, they weren't the only ones that we know of even that were interested in the Wave Echo Cave, because a mysterious villain known as the Black Spider, he actually controls a network of bandits and goblins in the area, and his agents have been following the Rockseeker brothers, and that's actually why I was hired originally as their guard.
Sildar leaves to go to talk to the town master, and the party decides to get to know each other better.
What of you, Liam? Where are you from?
I grew up on not so far away from town, kind of ranch, you could say.
Do you work for anyone, Liam, in particular?
I am a detective. Nowadays, I'm a bit more of a freelancer kind of detective.
Hachi, where are you from? You are very perplexing. Out of everyone, even the Stick.
I don't remember. I'm old.
Stick, where are you from?
He wasn't there when we found him.
Oh yeah, we found him in a bush.
You're from a bush?
Yeah, Roland, where are you from?
I am from a fairly small dwarven city to the west. I left and joined the Bronze Anvil Guild and became a blacksmith.
I just left, and somehow I ended up with you people.
Are we your favorite?
No.
No.
Hattie and Roland. And Stick, of course. I love Stick.
Liam's gonna snap his fingers and turn the Voidwalker into the Void House.
Oh my
And it's
god.
gonna be right next to Roland.
No! I was waiting for it! No!
Well, I mean, you were asking where everyone was from. I thought you should ask where my friend is from.
Entertain me, where is he from? Tell me,
And-
I'm very curious.
Liam is gonna just kind of back up and pretend like he's yawning, and he's gonna say, I am from a great void.
Roland is very confused because it was much higher pitched than he expected for Texas, but it did sound like it generally came from that side. So he's like, oh yeah, it must be Texas.
You know, I know your tricks, magic boy, but put it there. And I put my hand out to the shadow demon.
I tell him to put his hands out to Brandon.
A very large hand grasps yours, but nothing is happening. It's just holding your hand.
I
AJ?
hate this. I hate this.
I tell him not to shake violently or hard, just shake carefully.
It very quickly vibrates, and
I immediately pull my hand away. Nope. Mm-mm.
I have the Void Husk look at you, and you're gonna hear, that is what my people do all the time.
Currently, you're still holding it, Roland, unless you want to make a strength check. Because he wasn't told to let go, and it doesn't know anything. It's mindless, so it's just doing what it's told. You start pulling back in a panic of a curse, and
In my offhand, I charge. I ready Sacred Flame, and I'm like, "Let's go, demon!"
It's literally just mindlessly staring forward as it vibrates your hand.
Liam is sitting in his chair laughing. All right, calm down, dwarf, calm down. I say, let him go.
He lets
And
go,
it-
and I just go barreling back.
And right about that time, a pickaxe comes flying through the air and almost hits the Void Husk. And
Bit of an overreaction, dwarf.
well, if
That
you guys
wasn't
look over,
me.
there's actually a different dwarf.
Wait, what?
That's not my
Yeah.
pickaxe.
That was actually from the soot-covered dwarf who had been sitting in the room with you guys. He was also scared, just like Roland. And he goes, "Stop that evil thing!"
No, it is fine. I appreciate the help, friend.
Liam is gonna snap his fingers and it's gonna turn back into the Voidwalker.
It turns invisible. Then the dwarf walks over and he goes, "What was that? You're one of those necromancers."
Haven't been called that one yet.
Our new dwarf friend tells us about some more local trouble.
He
Sure.
makes free sweetbread.
Oh, you that sweetbread?
Yes,
I nod.
I can make you sweetbread.
Buy me a sweetbread and we'll talk.
What would you like to talk about, friend?
Well, I'm curious why you all are here.
I bring the bread to Liam, and I just be like, "Can you do it again?"
And then he just snaps his fingers and then he's like, enjoy.
And he starts scoffing it down. And while his mouth is full, he goes, "So you guys, are you here to stop the orcs?"
The orc.
Orcs?
What
We're
is
just
this
going down-
town?
Yeah.
There's been some orcs over there. Haven't you spoken to the town master?
Mm-mm. We don't even know who he is.
Well, he's been looking for someone to run them off. They've been getting increasingly aggressive in this town. In the past, many of them came through and destroyed the whole area. We're worried it'll happen again.
We will definitely talk to the town master about that. That is interesting.
We got a work cut out for us.
And that's our 5th D&D session in 15 minutes or less. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to join us on Saturdays on Twitch to watch our D&D sessions live. Thanks for watching. See you next time.